Skateboarding videos are an important part of skateboarding. Not only do they provide a way to have your skateboarding be shown to the world, but they also have been one of the main driving factors in the evolution of skateboarding. And it's mostly because of these skateboarding videos that a lot of iconic spots have been born and legendary skaters have been made. And on top of that, a lot of these skateboarding videos have inspired other skaters to go out and try tricks they saw someone else do, unknowingly making skateboarding progress not only for the individuals, but also as a sport and as an art form. And it's thanks to these skateboarding videos that we now have street skating as we know it today. So that's why in today's video, I'll be telling you about the most historically important and most watched skateboarding videos ever made, and how they changed the course of skating. So just before we get into this video, I've got to beg you to smash that like button because it helps out the YouTube algorithm, and let me know what video is your favorite if you've seen it, and let me know which videos you think I missed out on and should include in part 2. Anyway, without taking up any more time, let's get right into the video. The first skateboarding video ever was the Bones Brigade video show, released in 1984, and most notably it featured Rodney Mullen and Tony Hawk along with a bunch of other skaters from the time. While there is a movie in 1965 that's credited for being the first film to depict skateboarding, named Skater Dater, it was a movie and not a compilation of tricks from professionals. Thus we have the Bones Brigade video show, being the first ever skateboarding video. Not only was this literally the first skateboarding video, but this was the beginning of modern skate videos that we know them as today. Some argue that Bones Brigade 2 was a bit more interesting because it had McTwists and Guerrero doing their first flat ground ollie ever over something. Either way, there was just something more elementary and cool about the first one, and that's probably due to the history behind it. It gave all the skaters that were featured in it extreme exposure to the public, sponsors, and other video producers that would later help pave their own career into the sport. Video Days by Blind Skateboards came out in 1991, and it was directed by Spike Jonze, who later went off to become a Hollywood director. All around, the video is considered to be one of the most influential skateboarding videos of all time, and it has its rightful place in skateboarding culture and history. Part of what makes this video special is that Spike Jonze set a new standard for skateboarding videos at the time. This video made a huge impact on how future skateboarding films were produced, and on top of that, watching Mark Gonzalez skate is absolutely amazing. But it's not just a simple skate video. Video Days is a documentary about the transformation of the skateboarding industry as it transitioned from corporate ownership and vert contest to skater-owned street-level skateboarding, and it ushered in the era of modern street skating that we know today. 24 years ago in 1996, Toy Machine released one of the most groundbreaking skateboarding videos known to man. It revolutionized the insane slam sections that left skaters absolutely stunned as to what Toy Machine skaters were capable of. Through its editing and music, it was able to capture the era of skateboarding so beautifully that you'll feel like you're a 90s kid again, even if you never were.
Son of a bitch. Good, you want to be on camera? You stay right here. I'll be back.
At the very beginning, you see an almost unbelievable montage of American society with people being lazy, stuffing their face with food, and achieving nothing but instant gratification and sloppiness. Then Lard begins playing, and the scene changes to Jamie Thomas doing a giant lip slide down an 8 to 12 stair handrail. Yeah, a pretty cool contrast to capture your attention. Not only did this video serve as a time capsule for later generations like us, but this video is the pinnacle of skateboarding in the 90s, which launched a more aggressive and hardcore mindset in the scene. Well, at least compared to the previous video on the list, which featured Rodney Mullen wearing neon colors and being suited up in full padded out gear. Girl Skateboard's Mouse was released in 1966 as well, and was their second full-length video. Most notably, it featured a young Eric Costin, as well as Ben Sanchez, Chico Bernes, Daniel Costarello, Mike Carl, Richard Mudler, and about 15 other people that I won't bother reading their names. Just watch the video yourself if you really want to know. Spike Jonze, the same director from Video Days for Blind Skateboards, wrote a few skits into the video part as well, and still to this day this video is considered one of his best. There are absolutely no planned tricks from the masters of street skating, and just 100% raw and natural skateboarding talent. Believe it or not, it was actually based on a German novel, Das Maus. The skateboarding video consists of skits and heavy street skateboarding, and right before the credits roll, you see Guy Marino appear and just make everyone else look obsolete. The absolute masterpiece was released in 1999 by Zero Skateboards, titled Misled Youth. Most notably, Jamie Thomas was featured in it. As one writer says, the Chief sends it like no one else in this classic. He hits more rails than Charlie Sheen on a weekend bender. And he's right. That's exactly what Zero wanted to do when their video was being made. Zero was a gritty skateboard company and was known for doing rad stuff. Misled the Youth is an extremely raw video that shows insane tricks along with a bunch of stuff going wrong, like Jamie hitting rails. He wasn't the only skater that was completely eating it though. The video also featured Adrian Lopez, Eric Ellington, Jim Greco, Jude Ferguson, Matt Mumford, and Ryan Bobbier. While some skate videos tried to attract a wide variety of audiences, it was clear that Misled Youth was directed at hardcore skater fans. The video is poised to show the reality of skateboarding, and that just because a trick looks effortless, a lot of effort actually went into it, and oftentimes times literal blood, sweat, and tears. Flip Sorry, made in 2002, has to be one of the most all-around recognized skateboarding videos of all time. Mostly because of its entertaining tricks for sure, but also because of the personalities it featured. Most notably, Ali Boulala. In the beginning, you can see Ali's dog, Sid, puking at the beginning of his part. Well, the story behind that is that actually the dog ate a piece of hash that Ali had hidden. Ali ended up finding the hash in the vomit, and according to some insider sources, it's unknown if Ali smoked it later. But it appears he was pretty stoked to have recovered it. Another interesting fact about the video is at the beginning you see Ali breaking a car windshield. Well, it turns out that action almost got him jumped by a crew of angry gypsies. Ali thought it was abandoned, but in reality, it was just being stored until its owner could afford repairs. So when a witness, a voice of a woman screaming in the video, saw Ali smashing the windshield with his board, she alerted a group of gypsies who immediately began chasing Ali. Scared absolutely shitless as anyone would be, he jumped in a car and got stuck at a red light. When the angry mob got dangerously close, he ran at a red light even with the cop being across the street. They did end up getting away, but when the video premiered at Lyon skate park in France, which was close to the location of the incident, Ali showed up in incognito wearing sunglasses and a hat due to being afraid that he'd get recognized. But aside from the insane backstories, this video does an excellent job of capturing skateboarding in 2003. Reckless, dangerous, and just all about having a good time. Whenever Transworld puts out a video, you usually know it's a banger. Now imagine it's 2002 and you throw in your VHS tape and press play. Immediately, you can just feel that this video is just different from the start. There's a good reason for it though. They hired a professional video specialist named John Dreford to help with shooting. In Bloom just feels holistic. Voiceovers by pro skateboarders about being pro skateboarders, excellent camera work, lighting, music. You can tell that this video was just really well thought out while still keeping it real. A perfect balance between the two. Overall, the video is a good one to watch if you're just looking to get hyped to go out to skate and try some new tricks. Specifically, I definitely recommend checking out Tony Trugilla's part because the combination of his skills and the kickstart in my heart playing in the background makes me more hyped than Aaron Cairo talking about Scientology. Baker 3 was definitely the biggest video to drop in 2003. It set a new standard, and skateboarding videos from there on would regularly be compared to Baker 3. It became the standard for what skate videos should be. If you take a look back through the years, Yeah Right, the DC video, and Mosaic were predecessors. They had the dolly cams and the special effects of Yeah Right, the giant travel budgets of the DC video, and the artistic nuances of Mosaic. These videos were all classics in their own right way, but they were all products of a gilded age skateboarding was in. They were all major productions and tried to redefine what a skate video could be moving forward. But then came the Baker crew, bearing a video in bold black and red packaging that had an actual clear message on its back, giving skateboarding a bad name since 2000. Right when skateboarding begins to get socially accepted, we come in and ruin everything. There's a reason that people called that era of the Baker crew pretty much crackheads. It's because they acted like them. But that's kind of the point though. Skateboarding started out as a counterculture, and while it has become more socially accepted over time, it's also important to remember its roots, and the Baker crew did an amazing job of reminiscing. There were also a lot of very notable skateboarders featured in Baker 3, including Eric Ellington, Dustin Dolan, Andrew Reynolds, and Ali Boulala. The skaters' love for Fully Flared doesn't just stop at the talking around friends at skate parks. In 2007, it won Video of the Year at Transworld Skateboarding Awards, while skateboarder Guy Marino won the Best Street and the Best Video Part awards at the same event. It was one of the first skateboarding videos of its time to ditch the low-quality fisheye cameras in exchange for HD cameras in slow motion, as you can see in the intro. The video overall represents a shift in skateboarding filming, and because of that, it is loved by a lot of people, but also hated for a lot of people that love the old style of the GX1000 filming era. Fully Flared was a film created by the footwear company Lakai and directed by Ty Evans, Spike Jonze, and Corey Wintricki. It took about 4 years for them to make it, and its release was postponed for another 2 years, which was mainly due to important team additions. Apparently, a lot of the team members still have plenty of leftover footage and are planning on using them for other videos. The main team members that contributed were Aaron Mesa and Chris Ray. From 2010 onward, we've seen a huge revolution in the way that most skateboarding videos are watched. It used to be that you would need to buy a physical VHS copy to watch a video, but now we have the internet, and all you need is an Instagram account to get an endless feed of the worst of the worst, the most technical tricks imaginable, the biggest jumps you can think of, and 10-year-olds doing stuff that only the pro skaters could do merely 10 years ago. And I think it's mostly because of that we have less companies putting out full-length videos. Don't get me wrong, there's still full-length videos being put out, but definitely not to the extent and at the popularity that they were just a decade or two ago. A lot of skaters still put out their own video parts though, and they usually do it on their own social media pages or get featured on Thrasher if they have the right connections in the industry. And while you may think this is a bad thing and think that the golden age of skateboarding videos is over, If anything, we have it better than we ever did. With the internet, not only can you find all the old skateboarding videos and archives, but you can also get almost instant access to the newest things to go down in skateboarding. While the filming has definitely overall changed and you don't see anyone really filming with the old fisheye era style cameras and instead just use their iPhones, that just means that the barrier of entry is lower than it's ever been, and not anyone that wants to can go record themselves and make their own part or just upload their own clips to YouTube or Instagram. And that's all I got for today, folks. Let me know if you think I missed anything, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.